gonna go ahead. We're gonna watch Charlie's vid. This was put up 8 hours ago. Weirdest couple ever. And I won't say it's a weird couple. I just feel like it's Jada that's just being weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The hype or obsession over celebrity couples, like a power couple where fans just celebrate that they're in love or whatever and they're fainting anytime they see a picture of them holding hands. Just like a growth spurt, I just never got it. Why would you care so much about two strangers' relationship? I always wrote it off as just being part of this super fan culture that I just didn't understand. I know in the modern day it's very rare for people to just casually enjoy something. If you like something, you have to fucking love it.
Correct.
You have to live, breathe, and sleep that thing that you like. We've seen it a lot over the years with K-pop, where K-pop stans will obsess and go wild over even the smallest things, like if their favorite singer posts a picture of them eating a hot dog online. They'll cross-reference that photo with all known databases, go to a cutting-edge laboratory using the latest forensics analysis tools in order to figure out where the photo was taken, where the hot dog was purchased, so they can go there in the real world and try and fish through the trash can looking for the wrapper that they threw away so they can frame it on their wall. It's just this level of investment in strangers that I've never really understood. Until now. As a 29-year-old man, I've had my eureka, come to Jesus moment. I get it. Because I have become very invested and fascinated with a celebrity relationship, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. It's this never-ending disaster, this tragic play that keeps getting new acts added to it that I could have never predicted. It all started last year with the infamous slap where Will Smith slapped the devil out of Chris Rock on stage after Chris Rock made a joke about his wife Jada. And that signature anime finishing move with the slap actually pumped the brakes on his entire career. There were a lot of projects that he was involved with that dropped him, or just a lot of other projects that didn't want to touch him after this. So his whole career came to a screeching halt, all from the old 5 fingers to the face moment. And since then, there's been more and more information that's come out about their relationship that just makes it baffling. And it's so weird. Like, even prior to the slap, we had those uncomfortable moments where Jada invited Will Smith onto her show, where she just openly admitted to cheating on him and, like, having an entanglement with a much younger man, right to Will's face as he looks on in agony and sadness. And it spawned a lot of memes where Will Smith was, done up to look like Pain from Naruto and all of that. Because, I mean, it's rough. Like, it's really rough to just watch her giggle and...
Yes, he's still banned for, I think, 5 years because of the situation. I think it's either 5 or 10. I can't remember. And it's something of like, this is like, gang, that's not even necessary for... But then again, Oscars are also known for snubbing plenty of melanated actors and actresses before. Do not get me started on Angela Bassett and how many Oscars it is that she should have fucking won. So yeah, I'm not surprised at the fact that they will go ahead and do something like this.
Laugh about cheating on Will, who seems very much still in love with her. And they always kept up this act that, they're strong together, they're still together, this and that. And now, today, Jada has revealed that her and Will have actually been separated since 2016. She has a book coming out pretty soon, and there was a little special filmed with Jada where she states that they've actually not been together in 7 years now.
Because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were
She's
going
just
to live
nodding. It's just like,
completely
like,
separate
yeah, I
lives.
left that nigga.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce.
Hey, can someone let Will Smith know that? I'm pretty...
Nah, that's not funny. That's not funny, bro. That's not funny. It's not funny, but it kind of is. Because she's just sitting there eating it up. She's like, I know she gonna ask me that question. Like, yes, I left that nigga. Finally left him. You know what I'm saying? I still left him, but we still got a family together. Boom. But I'm gonna spin the narrative the way how it is that I want it, and Will not gonna say nothing. Man, the devil works hard, but Jada Pinkett Smith be working harder. Damn it. I thought Kris Jenner was bad. Allegedly, because I don't want to get attacked. Bro, a villain, bro. A whole villain.
Sure, this is the first time he's hearing it. You're telling me you guys actually split up in 2016? So he just sunk his career like the Titanic over his ex-wife? But then if that's the case, why would he say keep your wife's name out of your mouth? Right? Like that's just not adding up. I feel like she's just making this shit up. For the last year, I've paid attention to this relationship, and it feels like every opportunity she has to hurt Will publicly, she pounces on with a smile on her
Sure
face.
do.
It's like, it's diabolical. Like, she reveals some very embarrassing things about their relationship publicly. She openly talks about how she preferred her previous relationship to Will, though she doesn't use that language. It makes it very clear with some of the things she's posted that she was happier before Will. At least that's the impression myself and many others get with a lot of the things that she posts about. It's just brutal. It's like being married to your biggest Twitter hater. Like someone who's just leaving the most deep cut comments that actually hurt you on Twitter. It's like being in a relationship with them for 20 years. At least that's how it comes across. She does not seem to respect or even like Will at all. She is always running the bus over him any chance she gets. This is a bombshell. Claiming that she's actually, or they've actually been split since 2016, that doesn't even make sense. Now, apparently, she's claiming that it was a private decision they reached together, but in order to keep up public appearances because they weren't ready to reveal it, they kept pretending like they were still married. But that just doesn't track. That doesn't make sense, because if that was the case, why would Will publicly slap the fuck out of Chris Rock and ruin his career over this if he didn't think you guys were still married? That wouldn't make sense.
Exactly.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
It's not quantum science we're talking about here. You just say that you're not together anymore. You would have saved both yourself and Will so much shame during the entire entanglement scandal if you had just said, hey, we actually separated 7 years ago. There is nothing to gain by keeping up a facade that you are still married and, you know, in love together when you're not, especially when you're fucking other dudes, right? Why would you not just say, hey, we're not together anymore, really? Like, it's just like the easiest thing in the world. You'd have to try so much harder to not say that and just bear all of the spitballs that were being shot at you for cheating.
Right.
If you weren't actually cheating, then it should have been so much easier to just be like, hey, whoa, guys, look, we wanted to keep things private, but, you know, now things have hit the public sector thanks to me talking about this on my talk show. And it's probably about time that we state we haven't been together for 7 years.
So from an old interview, Will talked about how he wanted marriage where divorce was not an option. And he said Jada is the same, it was on the same page. Listen, regardless of like, although it is marriage, is just a legal binding to go ahead and to put more taxes onto you. You know what I'm saying? People think marriage is of different ways. Like, you know, obviously it is. I still want to get married and stuff like that, but like it's a Westerner thing for sure. Of like, you know, just onto a piece of paper. Regardless of how you split it, it's still adultery. If you are legally married to somebody and it is that you're going ahead and having different types of relations with other people, you have to call it a spade a spade. It's adultery. It is adultery. You know what I mean? And I just find like this thing weird at the fact of like, I understand at the moment of not like when you first break up with somebody or like, you know, or things where you separate and stuff like that. You don't want to talk about this right away. Tiana Taylor and Iman, she just recently put up something about the fact like, oh, we've been separated for a couple months, but that's still my bestie. This, blase, blase. I get to a certain degree and things just happen and you got kids and stuff like that. You're trying to work on how are we going to work through this? Or is it something it is that you guys could get back together? I get that aspect. But fucking Christ, 7 years? Yo, kids is grown. If we're not talking about babies or anything like that, there ain't no babysitters or like, oh, who go watch the baby? Like, or any of that stuff. Like, oh, they gotta worry about with school and graduation and stuff like that. No, these grown motherfuckers, they grown. Everybody is grown. The first Trey, grown. Fucking Willow, grown. Jaden, like, grown. You know what I'm saying? All them kids is grown. You know, go about your business with this lying, delusional facade bullshit, bro. I don't like this narrative. I really don't. I hate this. The fact that it's like she's like, well, I'm coming out with a tell-all book and this, and this. Like, dang, like Will's okay with this? I'm sure it is that he knows. I'm sure it is a decision that it is that's made. And I'm sure as a good guy as Will is, I'm sure it is that he was just like, you know, whatever makes you happy, I'm gonna support you on that. But deep down inside, he probably is not okay with that. I don't think any man would really be okay with like his business being that put out in the open and stuff. Such a phenomenal actor, you know? He made a mistake by going ahead and slapping the mess out of Chris Rock. But if Chris Rock was out here trying to ask Jada on a date and everything, amidst of all that stuff that's going on, you know what I'm saying? He went off and based off of how it is that he felt. It's like, listen, that's still my wife at the end of the day because it is legally that is still his wife. I don't like this. I don't like
and
this.
It would have been so much smoother for both Will and Jada. But again, I just don't believe this. I really don't. And this sounds super parasocial, but Will looks like he's perpetually going through life heartbroken, like in a trance, like this rain cloud over his head, while he stays with Jada, and she comes up with creative new ways of embarrassing him. Just nefarious plot to constantly publicly humiliate the guy. He just stopped his career for a whole year by slapping the man that he believed disrespected his wife. You're telling me that he did that knowing that you two weren't actually together? I don't believe that. An act which, by the way, she didn't appreciate. Like, even when it happened, she seemed to, like, publicly condemn it. And now she's talking about it again, saying that she initially thought it was a skit. I was like, there's no way that Will hit him. It wasn't until Will started to walk back to his chair that I even realized it wasn't a skit. And then she said, as soon as they were alone, she asked Will, "Are you okay?" I'm not this man's psychiatrist, but I'll just tell you, he's not looking okay here.
Right.
This really feels like a plot twist that Jada pulled out of her ass and isn't some mutually agreed upon thing. Like, I understand there's been rumors over the years that Will had some kind of affair with Margot Robbie at some point.
Alleged.
Though I don't think any of those claims have been substantiated. I think those were only ever just rumors. But Jada herself confirms an affair with somebody else. I just feel like Will and Jada aren't on the same page with that separation. But hey, then again, who knows? Celebrity couples are fucking weirdos. And this is by far the weirdest couple. And it's not even close. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised if Jada truly did just make this up because it's a really big headline and attention grabber, so it'd be great for marketing for her upcoming book. The book's not fully out yet, so we don't know all of the, you know, details behind everything or what all it's going to dive into. But just making a claim like this, a statement that they've actually been separated for 7 years as some kind of, like, big plot twist is huge for marketing for her book. So I really feel like there's a chance she did just make that up for that reason, and Will is as surprised as everyone else reading it right now. So, I could be wrong, though. Maybe they are truly, a great team. They agree that they've been separated for 7 years, and Will still just sank his career for a relationship he's not even in anymore. Who knows? I just wanted to talk about this because I just find them to be a very interesting couple that I have become invested in learning about over the last year. It's really about it. So, yeah.
See, this I will say this, it is weird. There has been a couple of times where it is like, there's been some articles saying it is like, oh, both has cheated, or like, oh, they have like an open marriage to where it's okay to dip out on said this, and this. But it is just weird to me. And he's not wrong. Charlie's not wrong for saying that. It sounds like to me it's like a level of just opportunity within the book. Of course, as a marketing tip, you want to go based off of like what is going to be something it is that's going to bring in a product. So I know, let's go ahead and talk about how much it is that me and Will, we've been separated for 7 whole years. Even in the middle of that 7 years, you went ahead and slapped the dog mess out of somebody. And just go ahead and spin the narrative the way how it is that I want to. I just don't like that. And then she goes ahead and she just find new ways to sit there and just shit on this man, bro. I just want to celebrate the life of Tupac and how his death was so hard on me. You know, it's like those type of things. It's like, sis. But all right, y'all. Hey, listen. W. Charlie, this shit is a mess, bro. But very interesting reaction, if you will.